Very good morning, students. So today we are going to revise geography first lesson, resource chapter. So we can see what is resource. What is a resource? Everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs. Needs provides its technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable can be termed as resource. So three conditions: it should be technologically accessible, economically feasible, as well as culturally acceptable. Like that things only we can term as a resource. Second one, interdependent relation between nature, technology, and institution. We have seen in our textbook it is given in a triangle like that. Okay, human being interacts with the nature through technology and creates institution to accelerate their economical development. Then classification of resources, broader classification: natural resources and human resource. Natural resources again divided into major two: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Human resource, structure and institution, and quantity and quality. Then resources, renewable resources, we can see that one. It is renewable resources we can divide into again two: continuous or flow, like wind, water, like that things. The next one, it is biological, that is natural vegetation and wildlife. The non-renewable resources, recyclable, example metals, and non-recyclable resources. Then on the base of origin, biotic resources obtained from biosphere have life, example human beings, flora, fauna, fisheries, livestock, etc. Then on the base of origin, abiotic resources composed of non-living things, example rock, metals, etc. Dividing the environment, biotic factors and abiotic factors. Then on the base of accessibility, renewable resources and non-renewable resources, example wind, hydropower, etc. Renewable resources. Non-renewable resources, soil, coal, etc. Then renewable resources are renewable or replenishable resources which can be renewed or reproduced by physical, chemical, and mechanical process, example solar and wind energy, water, forest, and wildlife, etc. Renewable resources may further be divided into continuous or flow resources, example wind and water. Then water cycle is the example. Then non-renewable resources are formed over a sustainably long period geological time, example minerals, fossil fuel, etc. These can be subdivided into recyclable resources, example metals, non-recyclable resources like fossil fuel, which can be recycled and cannot be recycled and get exhausted with their use, example natural gas, coal, crude oil, etc. On the base of ownership, individual resources, community owned resources, national resources, and international resources. Individual resources are resources that are owned privately by individuals, example land by farmer, plantation, pasture land, pond, water in the well owned by individual, plots, houses, and other property owned by people in the city. Community resources are resources accessible to all the members of the community, example village, common grazing land, burial ground, etc. Then public park, picnic spots, like that things commonly what we kept. National resources are the resources that belong to a nation, example roads, canals, railways, etc. Then International resources. International resources are regulated by certain international institutions. These include the economical oceanic resources beyond 200 nautical mile, that is 370 kilometers of the exclusive economical zone EEZ, which belong to open ocean, and no individual country can utilize these without the concurrence of international institutions. Then India has had to obtain right to 9 manganese nodule from the bed of the Indian Ocean from an area which lies beyond the exclusive economical zone. That is the one of the example we can say like that. Then on the base of development, potential resources, development resources, stock and reserve. Then potential resources. Potential resources are resources found in a region which have not been utilized. Example, wind and solar energy developed potential in the states of Gujarat and Rajasthan. Developed resources are resources that have been surveyed and determined for utilization. Both qualitatively of the resource depends on the technology and the level of their feasibility. Then stock refers to the materials of the environment which has been potential to satisfy human needs but being not have the appropriate technology to access this. Water in the component of two inflammable gases, hydrogen and oxygen, which could be used as a rich source of energy if we had required technical know-how. Hence it has been considered a stock. Reserves are the subjects of the stock which are not yet to be put into use. With the help of existing technical know-how, these can be used for meeting future requirements. Example, river water can be used for generating hydroelectric power, but presently it is being utilized only a limited extent, etc. Problems created by indiscriminate use of resources by man rivers. Many got depleted. Example, forests. Resources got accumulated in the hands of few people. Society is divided into two, rich and poor. Global warming, ozone layer depletion, environmental degradation are the other problems. So what we want to think? We want to think about sustainable development. Economical development which does not damage the environment and at the same time take care of the need of the future generation is called sustainable development. Then resource planning. Resource planning is a technique or skill of proper utilization of resources. And stages of resource planning: identification and listing of the resource that we are doing with the help of survey, mapping, measurement of the qualities and the quantities of the resources are important activities undertaken in at this stage. Planning of exploitation: develop a planning structure which with a suitable technology, skill and institutional setup. Then match resources, development plans, which national development plans, which resource development plans what we are taking that should match with national developmental plans. Then importance of resource planning. It is necessary for the balanced development of India. If you are thinking about India or in the world country. Some regions of India are rich in certain resources and poor in other some resources. That is, Rajasthan is poor in water resources but rich in solar and wind energy. Some regions are self-sufficient while other regions are very poor in important resources. Example, Madhya Pradesh is rich in many resources but Ladakh in poor in resources. So what we want? We need resource planning. Next point, wastage of resources can be avoided by planning, because in every state we are exploring and sometimes it become waste. Then environmental pollution can be reduced. Over exploitation of resources can be avoided. Then resource conservation. Plant use of resources in order to meet the present need and to store a part of the future generation is called resource conservation. It is necessary because many resources are non-renewable and exhaustible. If we conserve them, we can use them for a long period. Conservation of resources help us to reduce wastage. It help us help in the economical progress also. Resource conservation helps us to protect environment. Then Gandhian idea of resource conservation. According to Gandhiji, there is enough for everybody's need and not for anybody's greed. Greedy and selfish individual and the explorative nature of modern technology are the root cause of resource depletion. He was against mass production and wanted to replace it with production by mass. Land degradation. Large scale of soil erosion caused by running water and wind. Then dumping of waste materials from mining centers and industrial units. Over irrigation leads to increase the salinity and alkalinity in the soil. Overgrazing by animals and deforestation by man. Water and wastewater from the industrial units pollutes the land. Mineral processing like grinding of limestone for cement industry and calcite and soapstone for ceramic industry creates a lot of dust. This dust is deposited in a neighboring land. Land conservation measures. Soil erosion can be prevented by enduring deforestation, controlling grazing, encouraging afforestation and practicing terrace farming in hilly areas. Proportion of shelter belts of plants and stabilizing of land sand dunes by growing thorny bushes will help to prevent land degradation in desert. Then mining activities should be controlled. New technology which reduce wastage can be adopted. Industrial wastage should be chemically treated to remove the harmful substance. Urban waste can be used for a production of biogas and biomanure. Over irrigation should be stopped and new methods of irrigation should be followed. Soil as a resource. The uppermost layer of the earth crust, which loose, broken and useful for plants, is called soil. Soil consists of mineral matters such as sand and clay and organic matters such as humus, bacteria, etc., earthworm, etc. Soil is formed mainly due to the process of weathering. As a result of weathering, a layer of loose rock minerals is formed on the land surface. If this layer remains undisturbed for a long period of time, chemical, physical and organic changes take place in it. These changes lead to the formation of soil. Factors which influence the soil formation: climate, topography, nature of the parent rock and vegetation. How are soil formed? Soil, we can see the weathering with the sunlight and all. That thing we studied already. And climate means the climate decided the rate of the weathering and the layers of the vegetation. And topography of the land decide the accumulation of soil. Nature of the parent rock, it is decides the composition of and texture of the soil. Then vegetation decides the amount of the humus available in the soil. Then types of soil: black soil, laterite soil, alluvial soil, desert soil, mountain soil, desert soil or arid soil, mountain soil, mountain and forest soil also, red soil or red and yellow soil. Okay, alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is the most fertile, widespread soil found in India. It is formed due to the deposition of fine slit called alluvium by the rivers. It is found in the northern plains, Gujarat plains and the coastal plains. It consists of sand, slit and clay. It is divided into Khadar and Bangar, new alluvium and old alluvium. It contains soil nutrients such as potash, phosphoric acid, and lime. So it is fertile, good for growth of sugarcane, rice, wheat, and pulses. Difference between Bangar and Khadar. Bangar is the largest part of the northern plain and is composed of old alluvial soil. And Khadar is flood plains formed by younger alluvium called Khadar. And Bangar is lie above the flood plains. They resembles terrace. The Khadar soil is the region is renewed every year and is highly fertile. Then Bangar, the soil of the locally known as the Kangar and is composed of calcareous deposits. And Khadar, the region is very suitable for intensive agriculture activities. Then black soil, also known as rigor soil. Rigor means cotton and best soil for cotton cultivation. Most of the Deccan is occupied by the black soil. High water retain capacity. Soil is sticky when wet and string when dries. Self ploughing is a characteristics of the black soil as it develops wide cracks when dries. And rich in iron, lime, calcium, potassium, aluminum and magnesium. Deficient in nitrogen, phosphorus and organic matter. Then color, deep black to light black, and it is mainly found in Deccan trap regions of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Then comes red soil, and otherwise we will call it red and yellow soil. Seen mainly in the low rainfall regions, porous variable structure and absence of lime, Kangar means impure calcium carbonate, then deficient in lime, phosphate, manganese, nitrogen, humus and potash. Color, red color due to diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks. The lower layers is reddish yellow or yellow. Texture sandy to clayey or and loomy. Wheat, cotton, pulses, tobacco, oil seeds, potato, etc. are cultivated. It is found in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, then Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. Then laterite soil. Name from Latin word later means brick. Become so soft when wet and so hard when dried. Found in the areas of high temperature and high rainfall. Formed as a result of high leaching due to rainfall. Organic matter of the soil will be removed fast by the bacteria as it is high temperature, and humus will be taken quickly by the trees and other plants. Thus humus content is low. Rich in nitrogen, potassium, lime, humus. Color, red color due to iron oxide. Then rice, ragi, sugarcane, cashew nuts are cultivated mainly. It is good for cultivation of tea, coffee and cashew nut. And it is found in Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa and Assam. Then comes arid soil. Arid soil seen under arid and semi-arid condition. Deposited mainly by wind activities. High salt content, lack of moisture and humus. Canker or impure calcium carbonate content is high, which restricts in the infiltration of water. Texture sandy, color red to brown, found in western Rajasthan. Then forest soil. Forest soil are formed in the forest areas where sufficient rainfall is available. The soil vary in structure and texture depending upon the mountain environment where they are formed. They are loomy and slitty on valley sides and coarse grained in the upper slopes. In the snow-bounded areas of the Himalaya, they experience denudation and are acidic with a low humus content. The soil found in the lower valleys are fertile. Then comes soil erosion. Removal of the topsoil from one place to another by natural agencies is called soil erosion. It is caused by running water and wind. Deforestation or overgrazing, unscientific agricultural practices are responsible for a large scale soil erosion. Gully erosion. Two types of gully erosion and sheet erosion. The rainwater, when moves down on an uneven land, scoops away the soil, form deep channels called gullies. This type of erosion are called gully erosion. A land is broken into many small parts by gullies is called bad land. And a bad land is unfit to cultivation and for other economical activities. Then sheet erosion. Sometimes water flows as a sheet over a large areas down a slope. The water takes away the topsoil. This type of erosion is called sheet erosion. Then comes soil conservation measures. Counter ploughing. Ploughing along counters lines can declarate the flow of the water down to the slopes. Then terrace farming. Steps can be cut down on the slope making terrace. Terrace cultivation restricts soil erosion. Then comes strip cropping. Large fields are divided into strips. Strips of the grasses are left to grow between the crops. This break up the force of the wind. This method is called strip cropping. Then comes shelter belt. Planting a line of trees to create the shelters. By this we are completing the lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.